Hello, class. All right, so in reference to the active reading assignment, again, our main goal is to ensure that you are taking notes effectively and you know specifically what I am looking for as appropriate note-taking methods. So first things first, I wanted to highlight slide number 2, and this is something that you should be familiar with in terms of just acknowledging the different strategies to help you as a college student. For 90% of the assignments that you tend to do, whether it's going to be in my class or in other classes, you're writing a lot of papers. So you want to extract the most important information from the text, or information in terms of that will help you with your speeches and so on. So making connections where you are relating knowledge from another text to a particular argument that you have, a claim that you have, that is important. So you will be embedding or infusing a lot of content into your papers, so it's crucial for the most part that you're making these connections. Secondly, you're determining important information, okay? So having to select important content based off of the title and the sections that you'll be reading, whether it's in my textbook or in other classes, that is extremely crucial as well, because you want to make sure that you're not focusing on information that is totally irrelevant, okay? And in order to detect what is relevant, you're using the subheadings, you're using the objectives, like I told you, to ensure that you are on the right track. Another thing I want to share with you is summarizing. And summarizing, again, is just helping you to identify what you do know versus what you do not know. So if you have a moment where you don't understand a particular thing and you can't summarize, the last thing that you want to tell your professor is, oh, I don't understand any of it. Keep in mind, the literature that you read, no matter which class you go to, you're going to have different levels of reading. You have elementary level reading, you have also, like middle school, high school level reading, and then you have college level reading. So your textbooks are infused with all sorts of levels. It's not just one. It's pretty much, an assimilation of different types of levels. So if you're saying to your professor that you do not understand the entire text, there is something wrong there, okay? So you cannot make those kind of comments. It doesn't make sense. You have to pinpoint, break down, so for decoding for comprehension, break down words that you do know versus what you do not know. What is impeding you from not understanding the text? So you generate questions to help you in terms of understanding, or to help alleviate any gaps within your comprehension, okay? Another thing I want to identify in terms of making sure that you're on the right track with your reading and your writing assignments is having to annotate. So annotate is brief, straight to the point, as you can see here. You're not writing lengthy sentences, and you're focusing on making connections or tone or whatever that purpose is for your assignment. So before you start reading anything, especially for your research papers, when you go to Comp 1, for instance, focus on the main objective for the assignment, and then you start reading that content and you highlight and you underline and you annotate information that will help address the assignment, okay? So this is just to give you a very good example of what you will be doing in Comp 1 and also in my class, especially for your project. So please make sure you make a note of this example here, okay? Next we have highlighting. Highlighting is extremely important. So here, you should not be covering or highlighting the entire book. You need to select information that is either important, that you connect to, or that you don't understand. Color coding them is essential. It helps you to create some kind of association with the word, similar to the name or recalling name activity that we did on Monday, where we had a chance to know everyone's name, okay? And there were a couple of you that were not present, but it's pretty much just making some kind of name association. So the colors work in the same purpose, where you have some kind of association with the colors, okay? Especially when it comes time for a test or what have you. Mapping is another great way of making sure that you're on the right track with your writing, and also having to remember the content. So for the remaining slides, for the most part, you will be looking at different examples of what I consider from my class acceptable note-taking methods. Do not go there and conjure up your own, because again, these things or these approaches, these methods have a particular purpose. They're helping you to monitor your understanding, and you can also use it to put these notes into your essays or into your papers or conversations in class. So first things first, this is called a mind map. It's totally different from a bubble map. A bubble map is just used for brainstorming, but this is based on comprehension, okay? Pre-mapping entails you using your background knowledge, jotting down what you do know about the topic, okay, that you're focusing on, predicting what it might be about, just to make a stronger connection between the two. It helps you to remember more, believe it or not, okay? And then also having to figure out what exactly do you know about the topic versus what you do not know, okay? What you want to find out more about in terms of this topic, okay? So it's important to do this because, especially for research papers, you're filling in the gaps. You want to know more about a particular topic based off of your background knowledge. So this serves a purpose. A lot of people who are visual learners tend to use this. You can also use pictures as noted here, okay? Draw out pictures, and some people are doodlers. So if you are a doodler, right, you might be that person that needs to draw out images to help you remember. There's all sorts of learning or types of ways to remember, so this is a great way. So you would add topics as they arise while you're taking notes, and then you would embed more information, new ideas, new examples that you come across based off of those topics, especially if your professor is lecturing. It's a great way to keep you focused and to make those kind of associations between the new knowledge that you have learned and what you don't know. Third, you have identifying any gaps. What don't you know, okay? So again, coming to class and saying, hey, I really do not understand, A, B, C, not the whole alphabet. Again, you need to pinpoint. As a college student, we are not, as professors, we are not going to hold your hand. So it's important that you do this because this is something that you should have already possessed within you in terms of your mentality, okay? So we don't hold your hand. It's important that you do monitor everything in terms of what you understand. So the last thing to help strengthen that, to help identify what you do understand, once again, having to summarize, okay? Review the content and organize it accordingly so you can use what you have here into your research paper, okay? Or your essay, for instance. So mind mapping is a great tool. With the next, part 2 of this particular lesson, we'll start focusing on outlining and so forth. So please make sure you watch the video. I also want to note that, you need to make sure that if you do not have, the access to the computer, what have you, you can always go to the communication center early in the morning to work on your assignments. So please make sure, you go there if you are having issues. I do not want to hear any excuses at all. Okay, so please make sure you're mindful of that. All right. So gentlemen and ladies, please make sure that you take time to finish your work, and I will see you later. Enjoy your weekend.